hand. All right, we'll start in the front right with Angelique.
You didn't grow up here. How long did it take you to understand Michigan House?
You know, not long at all. Freshman year, you know, it grows every single year. You start to play with all your buddies, all your brothers, and you be with the guys that are from Michigan, you know, that grew up just can't stand Ohio State. And then you're with the guys that are from Ohio, who are the enemies within their own state, grew up Michigan fans. You embody that, you know, that rivalry game, you know, for them, because this game is, it's history, it's historic. This is the game everybody plays for, and you want to go out there and you want to win for them. You want to win for your team and your brothers.
All right, second row right, Steve.
Carlo, what's been your favorite interaction with Don Brown, or a favorite time, something one-on-one you guys have had?
You know, I love the moments right before we go out there. We come out and we warm up on the field. It was when we go back in and he circles the defense up and he just, you know, he gives us that pregame talk. You know, it's that juice that you need, and he's fired up, and you're like, Coach, don't, you know, get a heart attack. You know, keep it contained. You just want to go out there. You want to give it your all for him, and he gives you that extra push right before, you know, those last final minutes before you go out there and take the field.
Second row right, John.
What sticks with you about that experience down there 2 years ago?
You know, I wasn't down there, and I got to watch the game, but, you know, it was that emotion, you know, even just watching the game where it was like, you know, everything was there. You know, the team, just kind of where we were. We're sitting in the same position, shot to go to the Big Ten championship, and for one game to decide it all, you know, that hurts. And we're in the same spot, you know, 2 years later. You know, this game decides a lot for us. It's our whole season. You know, it's what we wanted, though, for it to be us versus Ohio State for the, you know, game to go to the Big Ten championship and keep our playoff hopes alive.
Standing in the back left.
Ben used the word despise for them. What is it about it? What do you despise about Ohio State?
It's just, you can't really describe it. It's just something that happens when you wear the M. You walk in, you take the M on, you gotta despise Ohio State. And if you don't, I don't know why you're at Michigan. You got to despise Ohio State. You know, this game's gotta be it all. I mean, it's a historic game. There's been so many successful players that have played for Michigan, been successful in the NFL that, you know, won this game, and this is everything.
Front row right, Kyle.
Do you find yourself watching Ohio State more than any other team throughout the season? And when you do watch them, are you taking mental notes throughout the year?
You know, they're always right there in the back of your mind. You're always watching, like, what are they doing? How are they doing? And I can't wait to get to the game. And, you know, when it's that time, which it is this week, you know, you watch film of all your opponents that week, but you're always doing a little bit of watching of, you know, how they play against that team. What did they do against that team? And you get to bring it all out for this last shot at them, right before, you know, keeping our hopes alive for the Big Ten championship.
Further questions for Carlo? Go back to the front right with Angelique.
So you've watched Haskins, I'm sure, this season a little bit, maybe not as much as you will this week. What are your impressions of him?
You know, he's a really good quarterback. He's rewriting the whole Ohio State, you know, passing books, passing yards, touchdowns. So he presents a huge challenge for us, and it would be a huge accomplishment, you know, to go out there, you know, stop him just because of how successful he's been at home and walk away with a win this Saturday.
Conversely, I mean, you watch Shea in practice, you watch him in games. What does he bring to this offense? How has he changed the Michigan offense?
Oh, Shea's so special. You know, he's a competitor. And I think we saw that really come out of him is that Northwestern game. I mean, he took it on as the offensive guy that was like, you know, we're not doing this. You know, we're going to come out here, we're going to win. And you could see it. He just played so hard, rallied the whole offense, and by rallying the offense, he rallied the defense. You know, it was like, let's go out there, let's get him a stop, let's get him the ball. He had the hot hand, and he's had the hot hand ever since.
Sitting in the back left.
I know you won't be going up against the Ohio State defense from your position, but you know, a lot of people saw that game against Maryland this past Saturday and say, man, what the heck is wrong with that Ohio State defense? But do you, as a player, toss that out because it is the game?
Oh, of course. You know, anything previous, you know, offense or defensively, either side of the team, it doesn't matter anymore. Because, you know, when this game's played, you're going to get a whole new side of both sides of the, you know, offense and defensive teams. you're going to get the best shot, you know, they've ever shown. They're going to get our best shot. And it's going to be a game that, you know, every time this game is played, it goes down in the books. It goes down in the history books. And you know, you just want to make sure when you go out there and play it, you know, they're saying something good on your side of the book.
Second row left, Dan.
You guys paying attention at all to that Maryland-Ohio State game as it played out? Were you, if they had lost, you would have had a chance to lock up the East Division. So I guess, would you have preferred to have that over with now, or are you happy to have that kind of up for grabs this week?
You know, we were in the locker room, but, you know, all of us were focused on our game. You know, it was getting down to, you know, crunch time, I think, in their game, and we were locked in for Indiana. So he wasn't doing a whole lot of watching that game, but in terms of them winning and us winning, I think it's what, you know, everybody wanted. I think everybody wanted to see two teams 10-1, one last game, making it, you know, I mean, this is the most important game. You know, it might be for either side of each team in the last couple of years. This game decides it all. Both teams have, you know, chances of going to the Big Ten championship and keep, you know, their playoff hopes alive and keep it rolling. It's what either side of the team, you know, it's what we all wanted.
Front row all the way down, Larry.
If somebody who hadn't seen your defense before, how would you describe it?
We just attack. We fly around the ball. And we just have fun. I think that's the biggest thing. You see us, you know, going out there every Saturday. We just love to play the game with each other. We go out there, you know, things happen. You know, they get a big play or something, you know, doesn't go our way. It doesn't really bug us because we, you know, we smile, we laugh it off, and we go back and we blitz them and we attack them the next play and recover for it.
Did you see Don Brown's flying chest bump or whatever that was with Bush?
No, I didn't see it, but you know I mean that sums it up.
Does he do
Right.
that in practice too?
Oh, all the time. He's animated. He's flying around, and you know it sums it up. Like I said earlier, it's just it's that speech, but he just wants to have fun with us. You know, we feed off each other. You know, we're out there blitzing. We're looking at him, and we're like, hey, let's get another blitz going. And he's never going to deny a blitz. You know, it just makes us go out there, have fun, fly around, and just you know keep attacking on every single down.
Back left, Jeff.
You mentioned the Northwestern game. I wondered, do you feel in any way that was a turning point, and what did you gain or learn from that game?
You know, it was that moment of, you know, 17 points. I think we were all scored in the first quarter. You go into the locker room and you just had two choices. You could decide, you know, how we're going to go out there and play this second half of ball. We could have gone out there and, you know, laid an egg and said, you know, we want to have a season kind of like last year, or we could go out there and go out on both sides of the ball, play our best half we've ever played this season, and turn it around. And you know, since the Notre Dame game, we've won 10 straight games. The Northwestern game presented a huge challenge for us. Each game's had, you know, each varies of a challenge, either being up a lot of points and going into the locker room and like, okay, do we let them creep in like we did last year? Or we shut them out in the second half, and we've learned a lot from each and every game, and it's helped us, you know, build that success that we have this year.
Back right, John.
This defense has accomplished a lot this year. Is it defined by what happened Saturday?
Yeah, you know, everybody's gonna remember what you did against Ohio State. This game has huge implications, and for us to go out there and just continue the way we've planned, it really be that statement, you know, as a defense, as an entire team, as a Michigan community of, you know, what we mean this year.
Just two more for Carlo. We're going to go third row left, Isaiah.
You said that you have something of a short memory of the defense. If you give up a big play, you're able to move on. And Don Brown has said a couple times this year that last year the defense didn't have that mentality, that you'd be kind of wide-eyed. How did that mentality change for you as a group?
We just grown so much as players, and we built, you know, a whole another year of trust in each other with summer workouts, winter conditioning, another summer camp, and you know that was a thing that, you know, hurt us. You know, a big play happened. It's, you know, it's hard to just go out there and forget about it because you're like, I let my brothers down on the field because that's who we're all playing for. But it's that whole year of growing and realizing that you hurt your team more by focusing about a pass play, because then that leads to another bad play. So if you, like we've done is, you know, we've seen it a couple times, something happens on a first down and we're like, it doesn't matter, they still got 60 yards to go. Then we force a 3 and out and we're jumping on the sidelines. You know, it's just, it's that year of trust and growing and playing for each other that's really helped us.
All right, last one for Carlo, front row left, Nick.
Oh, you mentioned earlier, you just said it there, all the stuff, offseason, the decisions made. What was the decision like early this season in January, like after 8 and 5? What was that whole mode like, and how was that carried you through?
We just didn't want to ever experience that feeling again. Coming off a season and going back to that previous year of work and training so hard, and you work so hard for one game every Saturday, and a lot goes into it. And for an 8 and 5 season for us was just not acceptable. And so it was always in the forefront of us, like, why are we working so hard this year? Why are we, on our own time coming in and just working? And we came out in this year against Notre Dame, and we had the same kind of feeling, like, well, what went wrong? Why did we not win this game? Coming off of camp, and you're like, we just worked so hard. And it's coming back and realizing that you had 2 ways to go, and we chose to win 10 straight games and just keep getting better every single game and put ourselves at the biggest stage of our careers right now to play Ohio State for implications that we all dreamed about as little kids.
All right, thank you all. We're going to keep Carlo moving.